Jennie Kim headlining a major Western festival isn't a congrats on being famous goodie bag. It means holding down a massive crowd for a full hour with actual presence and live vocals. Yet, Miss Jennie Kim's latest solo set turned into an absolute disaster that has the internet completely unhinged. When the vocals keep singing while your mouth isn't even moving, that's not a live arrangement. That's a custody battle over who has to take the chorus. The backtrack was doing 80% of the heavy lifting, yet somehow the stamina was still non-existent. Fans are out here making wild excuses, but the receipts don't lie. Going solo was supposed to be her ultimate liberation, but it ended up exposing every single flaw BLACKPINK used to hide. Let's talk about why this headlining set might have officially broken the public's trust. Welcome back to the channel. Look at the footage from that festival set, and the core structural issue hits you within seconds. When an artist steps onto a headlining stage, the expectation is dead simple. You command that crowd with total authority. When she did try to jump in live, she stumbled into phrases late, gasped for air, and cut her line endings short before the next phrase even started. The backing track wasn't just supporting her voice, it was practically begging her to keep up. A festival stage demands non-stop vocal projection and breath control, but what the audience actually got felt like a breathless, frantic struggle between a live performer and her studio track. People dropped hundreds of dollars expecting a masterclass in live music and ended up watching a glorified rehearsal. And while the vocal fail was loud, the real disaster started when you look at how the stage was engineered from the inside out. The internet response was instant and brutally direct, with commentary channels and casual listeners tearing down every single clip frame by frame. Online forums immediately filled up with receipts, specifically isolation audio tracks from her performance of Dracula, comparing her live mic feed straight against the studio vocal layer. Sure, audio techs tried claiming bad in-ear monitor latency, and that's a valid technical issue, until you realize 16-year veterans know how to pull an in-ear out and signal their crew, not blindly chase a backing track for an hour. People felt the sheer lack of authenticity and prep was a direct slap in the face to paying fans. When festival goers start actively turning their backs or walking away mid-set to hit secondary stages, public sentiment shifts from mild disappointment straight to brand-damaging embarrassment. At what point does relying this heavily on a backtrack at a major festival cross the line from standard industry support to flat-out misleading the paying audience? Drop your honest take below because the line seems to be shifting fast. This entire technical breakdown exposes a much deeper systemic problem with her shift from group member to fully independent solo act. Inside BLACKPINK, individual weaknesses get diluted and hidden behind clever production work. Formations shift constantly, line distributions split the physical strain, and rapid camera cuts mask low-energy moments or missed cues. On a massive solo festival stage, there is no witness protection program. When the lead artist stops singing, that silence takes over the entire venue. Her team built a set list designed for a stamina monster, yet the actual execution looked like a 3-minute music show recording meant strictly for camera lenses. Music critics have repeatedly called out this exact friction between K-pop stagecraft and Western festival demands. Applying a K-pop mindset that prioritizes tight lens work, subtle eye contact, and precise camera angles completely falls apart across a massive field where tens of thousands of people only see you on LED screens and need raw, high-energy projection off an open mic. And that gap between Instagram glamour and live reality is exactly why PR teams are sweating right now, because it gets even worse when you look at how this show was secretly monetized. Here is the plot twist nobody is talking about. While her vocals were crashing on stage, her brand value actually spiked. Her team didn't design this set for the live festival crowd paying for tickets. They engineered it for 5-second viral TikTok clips to sell sunglasses, designer fits, and high-fashion aesthetics. Instead of leaning heavily on proven, recognizable solo hits like Mantra or Solo that the general crowd actually came to hear, a huge chunk of the set got stuffed with unreleased demos and unknown material. Major Western festival grounds aren't private fan club meetings or corporate shareholder showcases for unreleased demos. People pay top dollar for energy, recognizable anthems, and momentum. Expecting a casual crowd of thousands to stand there politely while you beta test unreleased tracks requires an unreal level of stage presence and vocal charisma. Because the live vocals were already struggling on her known songs, these unfamiliar tracks dragged the pacing down to a crawl, turning an hour-long headlining slot into a performative, live-action Pinterest board, while the crowd visibly checked out and headed for the exits. When you market your new label OA as Ultimate Girl Boss Liberation, you don't get to delegate the blame when the show tanks. True independence isn't just taking the check and owning the aesthetic, it's owning the mess when you fail to deliver. Online critics immediately zeroed in on the glaring contrast between her hyper-polished visual aesthetic and the utter lack of musical cohesion on stage. When your entire brand built itself on high-fashion polish and effortless cool, an uninspired, breathless live set makes the whole operation look performative and shallow. And that makes the defensive PR machine look even more unhinged. Every time a shaky live clip goes viral, the fandom invents an entire medical chart out of thin air to excuse the low energy. We need to stop letting toxic parasocial culture gaslight us into believing that basic effort is a discount coupon for quality. When the exact same breathing issues, late entries, and forgotten lyrics happen across 3 different tours in different cities, it's not an unexpected injury. It's a clear pattern. Sweat and aesthetic curation don't make a headlining show immune to basic consumer criticism. If total creative control means owning both the praise and the flaws, why do we keep seeing entire fandoms blame everything from in-ear monitors to fatigue instead of holding their favorite artist accountable? Let me know if you think fans are actually helping or hurting her artistic growth with these excuses. Ultimately, this entire performance marks a major turning point in how internet culture views influencer-level fame versus actual live stagecraft. Music fans across every platform are actively rejecting social media clout and fashion dominance as valid stand-ins for real stage capability and genuine authenticity. Yet the wildest part of this paradox? The worse her live vocals sounded, the higher her fashion metrics climbed. Her personal media metrics, fashion search numbers, and trend-setting rankings spiked to record highs immediately following the performance, proving her brand has built bulletproof immunity against talent scandals. But a world stage headlining slot cannot survive on aesthetic curation, exposed skin, and viral camera poses forever. Can an artist truly maintain long-term credibility as a Western festival headliner if their live product relies entirely on aesthetic curation rather than raw talent? Or has fan culture made major stars completely immune to market consequences? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, hit that subscribe button for more breakdowns that cut straight through the PR hype, and I'll see you in the next one.